be discussing the ideas. That's another set of games here happening. So they definitely playing. We should have stayed online. So now we're not interrupting our thinking here. So let me double check if things are okay. Let me open up the Restream tab. I think the messages are on. Okay. Let me go to Restream back here. They're still doing it. Yeah. Okay. Sound is fine. Let's making some live comments on this one, people. Magnus White, Nakamura black here. What did Nakamura do that? He spent so much time thinking. Wow. What's this going on here? 3, 7 pawns. 4, 3, 7 pawns. This is a battery here. What does Nakamura do with the bishop on c8? There you go. That's the answer. He plays b6, which means a couple of things here. b6 means that Nakamura wants to play probably c5, thus attacking safely the queen and forcing perhaps a trade here, which would be very beneficial for black. b6 also, my chess friends, has the quality of allowing the bishop to play on b7. So that might be another very good positive consequence of moving b7 to b6. Alrighty. What is white going to... Well, you want to avoid having the bishop playing c5 against you, so Magnus dropped it back. Nice battery on h6. Very interesting point. Very interesting point here. So this bishop is threatening h6, which is currently defended by the pawn. Will Magnus ever consider... I don't think he's got enough power though, but it's an idea in the air. So you don't want to give them now the bishop for 2 pawns, but it's a potential thought, you know, at the back of your mind. This one here means that maybe the bishop goes b7, but maybe the bishop goes a6. You never know. Rook playing on c1. That means the bishop has to be very careful when they consider moving around, because this guy has to be protected. And this pawn is very advanced. Kind of hinders blacks developing their pawns and moving them forward, especially this guy. So is Nakamura going to play bishop b7? Could be, could be, could be. Oh, maybe I should have changed also the title in the stream so people know that actually it's about commenting on Nakamura and Carlsen playing one another. Can I put the tab here on next to my screen? Do you actually, guys? Okay, hold on a second. If I sort of minimize, if I put this one by the side, do you guys see it? I don't know, just saying. You don't. Okay, cool. So you just see that thing. Okay, but when I'm streaming, oh, okay, right. Rook over to b8 here. So you don't want to have the rook in a corner because of this guy. So in principle you want to move the rook away, because if you ever dream of pushing the pawn on the c file, you don't want to have your queen, sorry, you don't want to have your rook targeted by the bishop. Now Magnus wants to trade. If black accepts and queen takes back, c7 will fall, even if this guy is going to be taken. But I don't think Nakamura is going to take, right? Very tough, very tough. So they already had 2 draws. Bishop a6. Yeah, we said about bishop a6. So that's what happened. Bishop a6 now attacking 3 times the pawn on e2. Okay. So Nakamura is happy for Carlsen to take on d6, and he'll be taking back with the queen. Very nice. Very, very nice. And this pawn on e4 is very nicely protected. Nice and sound. Now looks like a very juicy way. Exactly, that's what I was about to say. Doubling the rook and attacking on c7. That's exactly the base of the chain. So when you're having a battery, my chess friends, you want to aim at the base of the chain the pawn chain structure, which is c7. So Nakamura can't afford to lose it, so he defends c7. It's very bad not to. I suspect Carlsen wants to do some g4, g5, perhaps. And this guy wants to play now. The bishop wants to probably go on d7. Maybe. I can't see any other thing. Probably he thinks there's nothing for him to exploit via the e6 f1. Does he want to actually reroute the bishop? g4. Okay, so I've anticipated this. g4. I've set it g4, and I'm happy they actually played it. I'm happy they actually played it. Let me check again the thing here. Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Goes very well. Let me go back to the moves here. Okay. What is Magnus gonna play? Is he gonna push g5? That's a question. He's gonna push g5. Let's see what happens. g5 goes forwards. I suspect they gotta take. They gotta take. Takes and takes and takes, and you can't take back because, well, you could. You could. Yes, g5. Of course you could. So I'll put this one as another. Well, it's a natural move, so you want to dismantle completely the pawns protecting the black king. When Nakamura played bishop to b5, he actually wants to move the bishop to d7 or probably e8. Yeah. Okay, you got to move the queen. You're going to sort of exchange queens over there, but c7 is going to drop. Very nice. Very, very nice. They're going to draw again. It's a fair chance they're going to draw again, but anyway, let's see what happens. I like the rook's battery. I like it so much. Okay, so they move very fast. I wanted to... okay, rook c7. You just want to check. You can't miss this opportunity. You can't miss the rook on c7. So I don't know what Magnus is going to play, but rook c7 screams to be played. You have to do this. You have to do rook c7, then you're going to drop your queen to d7, and Nakamura has to deal with this. You have to do this. So my first two moves, consecutive moves now, would be rook c7 and perhaps queen to d7. That's what I'm thinking of. But rook c7 definitely. Let me see what does the engine think. Let me toggle on that line. Is it rook c7? I mean, it's a natural... Rook c6. Rook c6, actually. And queen h7. Let me toggle them off again. Rook c6. Why rook c6? Because what? You're actually targeting this and this. And then you can play in check. And then you can take here attacking the queen whilst the queen defends the rook. Okay. Okay. Nice one. Very nice one. What? Is he planning next on the rook c7? Personally, probably if I was over the board, I would have just went for rook c7. Anyway, black doesn't really have options for the black rook. Have you guys noticed that the black rook can do nothing meaningful? And also for Nakamura, it's a bit super risky now to get the queen adventuring outside. It's going to be very painful. Because the queen is actually meant to protect the black king. Yeah, exactly. Just defensive moves. It's very painful, but these are just defensive moves. Only defensive moves. Rook c7. Rook c7, rook c6. Which one's most aggressive, guys? What else? They're both good, I guess. What else black going to do after rook c7, by the way? I'm just curious. They're going to play what? Dropping king? It's kind of painful. Then they're going to bow what? Rook to b7. Oh man, this is so... Okay. Although that might come with a setback. They got to play this one super carefully. So I would say go for the attack with rook c7. Guys, if you got some better ideas, do please let me know. I'm curious what you guys thinking. I'm very curious what you guys think Magnus should be playing here. Let's see if we can do this guy's itinerary. Okay. Did Magnus move? No, he didn't. So I think rook c7 is awesome. And if king retreats, we got another check here. Then black is going to have to play something like g6. Then what the heck, you can go back on h7. And you're completely dominating the 7th rank. And you got a strong battery. On the other hand, we got to be careful. When the king drops, black attacks f2. But after rook c7, oopsie daisy. After rook c7 and king drops back, you could check again. King's going to go back. What? Yeah, I don't know. So white is having 5 pawns versus 5 black pawns. But white has the 7th rank, has access to the 7th rank. You just gotta be a bit careful about this battery here. Maybe trade off the rooks. So Magnus now spends quite a lot of time thinking if he should be trading rooks or not. Should white be trading rooks here, guys? What do you think? Do you guys think that white should be trading the rooks, or they will be ending up in another draw? I am curious. What do you guys consider Magnus should be doing here? Let me clean those lenses. I mean, Magnus wants to win, I assume, like Nakamura too, so they want to qualify. Rook c7! Rook c7! Yeah, so I've got another move predicted correctly. Well, it wasn't that... right, but I've anticipated this one too. So I reckon now, guys, again, do you think Magnus going to play rook c8? Rook c8. King's going to have to move again. Well, at least you got to draw in the cards. If you want to draw, then that's it. You're gonna switch over c8, c7, c8, c7, and I guess Nakamura's going to take it. Look at this, c8. Is Magnus going to draw? What do you think, guys? Is Magnus Carlsen going to draw? King... Okay. Magnus decided to trade the rooks. I would have played the same thing. But that's just a coincidence. I definitely don't play like Magnus, unfortunately. Not all the time. Maybe one move out of... I don't know how many. Okay. So... let's keep up, guys. White to move. White to move here. Now, I think white queen really wants to target these two guys, which are currently... I mean, the b6 is not defended. So if white manages to play something like queen c6, black will have to defend all the time, keeping the black queen here in order to protect the pawns. So you got to be very careful here with this thing. So this guy are weak. Now, on the other hand, if black goes to capture these guys here, the black king might be exposed to various checks like this. And this guy's going to fall and this pawn is going to promote. So what I'm thinking is Nakamura really has to think it very carefully, because if queen takes, we got to check. They got to move. They've got to move. King's got to play. And then white queen's going to take the pawn on d6. So, for this very reason, Nakamura did not take the pawn on b2. In case you guys wondering why did Nakamura didn't take the pawn, to my understanding, that is the reason. That's got to be it. Because if d6 falls, this guy's going to queen. And Nakamura's gone. He's toast. He's absolutely toast here. So that's my interpretation. What do you think, guys? Just let me know your thoughts. If you want to, if you don't want to, you want to, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to engage. I'm just asking rhetorically. Feel free if you want to. If not, that's fine too. So, what is Magnus going to do? Is Magnus going to check and grab this pawn? Although e4 is going to fall down. So, guys, you got to look at the way your opponent might be playing. So, if queen b7, Nakamura is going to take on e4. Well, if you check, first king has to move what they got to block. And you got to think about this one. He didn't. He went back on g4. Man, these are some endings with the queen. That's a disaster. Again, reminder, guys. The black queen can't really take on b2 because of this kind of checks. King comes closer to defend. The black king moves on g6 to defend g5, thus enabling the black queen to move. Potentially, it's still a problem. No, they can't really move, can they? Because of the same check here. Because of the same check, they can't really move. That's another spectacular game played by Magnus and Nakamura. I absolutely love it. And I thought, look, rather than watching it in solitary confinement here, I'd rather just discussing the ideas, guys. A4 being played here. You notice probably, again, this guy is hanging, but it's a sort of a poison move. That's a disaster. That's a disaster. Nakamura cannot afford to losing d6 pawn. Is Magnus going to play? You can't, because if he does f3, if you wonder, that would have been a check with tempo. Disaster. So Carlsen decided to defend e4 with the king, so that the queen is free to roam and attack more. Plus you want your king centralized towards the end of the game. g6, cutting off as much as possible squares from the queen. King to e3 very nicely. Again, queen can't really take on b2. You can't. Is queen c8 playable? Maybe. He's going to have to think now, Magnus, if queen c8 is playable. Queen c8 I'm thinking because of the potential check with, taking on b6. But if you play queen c8, the question is, will Nakamura take on b2? And if they do, you don't take on b6. And actually, you will be completely undermined here. They're going to be slaughtering you from behind the enemy lines. So I don't think queen c8 at this stage. I don't know. They're going to make another draw. Now king to d8 is because they don't want to get checked. What does that mean, queen to g3? The black queen can't take, because then you would have taken on d6. King now defends b2. Very important. Very important. If Magnus plays something like this, well, not like this, because the f2 is going to fall. So you can't do it, frankly. You got to find another way. So if you play queen g4 for this kind of check, you're going to lose f2. Disaster. So then you're going to lose the game. So guys, as you can see, all these details need to be processed in real time as you play. It's very, very tough. Very, 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 very tough. Incredible. You need incredible mental stamina in order to be playing these things accurately all the time. So king to b3 now. King to b3 protects b2, protects a4. Oh, whoa, the pawn has dropped. Black queen is going to take on e4 probably. They're going to have to take, and Magnus is going to play c6. Oh boy, I think white is doing better here. Well, they might have the checks here, I reckon, but after... Oh my god, if you play this, then they're going to take on a4. Guys, you got to play this incredibly, incredibly accurately, and the problem is both players running low on time. I don't think Nakamura is going to allow Magnus to play check here anytime soon. Yeah, no more checks, no more checks. Nakamura has seriously have to consider this, because queen c6 is coming, and then this guy coming down the board theoretically. I don't know what you think, guys. If you think that's the plan, what do you personally think about this? But again, if Nakamura takes on e4, we got queen c6 check. King's got to move, and so he didn't take on e4. He wants to protect b6. That's the reason. Because check's going to come now. And after this check, Carlsen's going to push the pawn. So I'm happy I'm seeing these things. I wonder, can we push? Of course we can. Of course we can, because the other guy will be backing it up. And then the king can travel, burp, and slaughtering these guys. I think Magnus is winning. Let me ask the almighty engine. Bloody hell, it's another draw. Dude, I thought that from a human perspective now, White's gonna bank in a victory here. Not that easy, it seems. Huh. He's gonna play queen to f4 to defend e4. Probably, but that means that the black queen can still check the heck out of you with c5 and things. So he plays a more defensive approach. It's gonna be another draw, guys. What is this? Oh my god, he wants to actually march on with this pawn. Magnus wants to win, fellas. He wants to win. My god. Jesus. Nightmare. Let me ask the engine. Is evaluation still draw? Looks like. Yeah, but because of the time pressure, guys, you're prone to make it. Don't forget, yesterday Nakamura got checkmated by Fabi Caruana. Because of the time issue. That's a heck of a check. That's a heck of a check. I think the bar now is crazy going better for white. With that pawn advancement, not? I don't know. Check. Gotta move. Oh man. What? Oh, blunders. Blunders. Festival of blunders. Blunder after blunder. Blunder after blunder. Mate in 6. Magnus Carlsen blundered the queen. Oh. I'm sorry for the dude. He blundered the queen. Jesus. Painful, painful. I mean, look at this, man. He pushed. You can't do queen f6. I don't think Magnus. No, it was a mouse slip, guys. Magnus don't want to play queen f6. He's got 25 seconds on the clock. Magnus wanted to take the pawn. He wanted to take the pawn on b6. That was a mouse slip. Magnus can't play with 25 seconds on the clock. He cannot play queen f6. He can't play queen f6. That was a mouse slip. I am really sorry. I know how it feels because I'm sometimes every now and then I'm doing this myself. You can't do queen f6 here. You can't do queen f6 here. It's actually queen takes b6. Yeah, it's queen takes b6. And look at this. That's exactly what Magnus wanted to play. He wanted to play queen takes b6. I was wondering why the heck would Magnus drop the queen with 25 seconds on the clock? Because of the mouse slip. There you go. Mouse slip. 25 seconds. Doing even better than Nakamura time-wise. He dropped the queen on f6. That's not a blunder. I don't know what the other guys in the commentators are saying, but I'm telling you that was a mouse slip. It can't be a blunder. Not with 25 seconds. I mean, if it's like 1 second on a clock or something, I don't know. That was complete mouse slip. I am so sorry for Magnus for this one. Okay, let me see if they are. I think they're going to play another one. They're going to play another one. I think they're going to play at least one more game. Very nice. Thank you. Very appealing indeed. Let me go back to the. Yes, this one here. They're going to play another one. So I'm going to stay put now. Haven't they started? Not yet. Okay, so they're making comments. This is yes, he did make a mouse slip.
After that mouse slip,
exactly.
Giving the game.
I just heard it now. Mouse slip. Exactly. I thought, guys, that's a, whoa, it's gonna be a blunder or something, but no, that was a mouse slip, man. Queen takes b6. That's what Magnus wanted to play. In this position. That's what he wanted to play. He just dropped the queen. Mouse slip, that was it. I don't think there is a rule that regulates against the mouse slip, like in terms of giving Magnus a chance to replay the things. So, you know, you gotta push the freaking keyboard in the wall, and the hand maneuvering the mouse have to have freedom and nothing obstructing it in order for you to avoid playing this kind of things. That's so unfortunate and frustrating. He fought so hard. He fought so hard for this position, and to ending up with the mouse slip. This is just. I think Magnus is fuming. He's absolutely fuming, rightfully so. I would be very pissed off with that. Jesus. Crazy, crazy, crazy mouse slip. No way. Ugh. Unbelievable. Right. Such a nice game here. Could have been at least a draw. I mean, if you look at it, 3 black pawns, 3 white pawns. After queen captures on b6, the white queen perfectly protects the pawn on f2, but also exerts a little bit of pressure on the pawn on a5. On the other hand, black doesn't have checks, if I can see this one correctly, not at the minute, so black queen needs to reposition itself in order to deliver some checks and, you know, making the white king budge away from their place. But definitely Magnus was not supposed to be losing this position here. He is very, very upset on this one, I imagine. And as we are, because that's not a very, very fair situation here. Very painful mouse slip.
He played queen h7. I had missed this queen h7 idea altogether. And even if you know, I do actually look at the cams. I saw Magnus's reaction when I played rook f8. He realized that he had made a slight mistake too, allowing that. So there's been a lot of back and forth the last couple of years. And I think, yeah, it's great for the fans for sure.
Well, just on that note, Hikaru, you're talking about some of the psychology. Did you feel like you had the upper hand when you outbid Magnus in this Armageddon?
No, I mean, I think the thing is in this event more so than the first one. Like the first one, I think all of us were trying to be like super precise in our bids, see just how low you can go. And I kind of was like, I'm just going to bid something. I didn't even really think about it that much. It was just like, make a bid. Who cares? You get white, you get white. You have 6 minutes. Just deal with it. And so there wasn't, I think, as much psychology going on. But it was nice because I think if you go back to the first event, I think I was bidding something like, like 757 against Wesley or something completely ridiculous. I mean, I got away with it, but no, I mean, I was happy to be black having draws because, of course, in chess, most games do end in a draw, something like 60% plus. So that was an advantage, but still, the opening I got was not good. Magnus complicated very early, but you just keep trying to play moves, and I found a way.
Great job, Hikaru. Congratulations, defensive wizard.
Yeah.
From the chat.
So yeah, they did acknowledge it was a mouse slip, unfortunately, for Magnus. They're gonna play another. No, they're not gonna play another one because Hikaru qualified now, right? Because of this victory. There's no more other games. Okay, well, all right, fellas. I am very sorry for Magnus's mouse slip now, so I'm gonna pause it again. If there's any other game happening live, we'll be returning, guys. All right, so thanks again, fellas. See you later.